Hey everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Extra Time TV. This is Andre
I'm Kevon Campbell.
And everyone is speaking about Real Madrid, but particularly Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronnie.
Yes, CR7 is with the Portugal national team at the Confederation Cup in Russia right now. He has won the back-to-back Champions League titles. He has won the Euros. He has won the Ballon d'Or. Everything should be going great for Cristiano Ronaldo. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Cristiano Ronaldo has been he has been accused of some cases of tax fraud, equivalent to the value of $50 million. And Kevon, this is very interesting because there's one or two things. This is something that keeps popping up again and again. Messi, Neymar, many high-profile players, not just in football, but also celebrities, Wesley Snipes, just to name a few, have been hit by this issue. It's something that seems to keep coming up with these high-profile players with large salaries. Kevon, first off, the main issue is that he's been accused of exploiting a loophole in the tax structure in Spain when it comes to image rights. So, as well as this, he's also possibly angry and may exit Real Madrid as a result of their handling of the situation. So what are your thoughts on the situation so far?
It's like a double barrel gun, Andre. But in reality, athletes who play in Spain is quite different because when you look at the past, you look at guys like Falcao, Di Maria, Messi, Neymar, now Ronaldo. It's been a telling matter, really.
Yes.
Because in Spain, you pay different taxes compared to other countries. When a high-profile athlete like Ronaldo, when he makes his general gross income, it is taxed, he pays that tax. But as high-profile athletes, you have endorsements outside of the country. You have likes of Nike, Adidas, Puma, Under Armour, whoever you your image rights to belong to. The tax for that is actually you pay separate, but in Spain they want that tax as well. They act as though it's inside of the Spanish country, the kingdom. So it's different because players, they sometimes try to get away from it or put money in different ventures to get away from that, and it can come back to bite them. And it has Ronaldo. I mean, this is a case, it can linger on for a while, Andre, but in reality, the guys like at Real Madrid, his advisors have a big part to play in this because as a professional athlete, when you look at things, you are paid to play and you have other guys dealing with and handling your external finances because it's a tough task to do on both accords. Because in reality, when you look at guys like Ronaldo, if you take the time to actually go through your taxes and do that accounting side, it can be quite tedious. So they trust guys, they trust their agents to do and to take up that mantle. But sometimes they don't do it. But it's the club as well because they need to sort of spoon feed and go along with the player. And I think that's what Ronaldo is really peeved about because he didn't get that support, and also he wants Real Madrid to come out and support everything he says. So that's why Ronnie is a bit peeved right now because of that. But when you look at tax exemptions and football in general, the amount of money these guys make, especially in 2017, is different to 15 years ago. Football inflation, is more money in football now. So the likelihood of guys earning much more is much different. Different tax regulations, 2017. And remember, we live in an economy, and economics, it's a human element. Yeah. It's man-made. So it's likely and change and also bad things can happen because it's a human thing.
And one of the aspects that people, just to build on what you're saying, these players are making astronomical figures.
Yeah.
When you're in a certain income bracket, each country has their respective tax laws. Spain has their particulars, very specifics, which you explained just now. And one of the arguments that Ronaldo's team, I should say, or the people responsible for handling his finances, is that concern about image rights and how it's being taxed. Yeah. Apparently it's something new. That's their argument that they were not aware of, and the changes were made. And they are basically claiming, I guess, ignorance, for lack of a better word, towards it. But this brings the other question with taxes, with the amount of money being made. You are signed to a club. You are signed to the organization of Real Madrid. For example, if Real Madrid decides to sign Kevon and me at the beginning of the next season, which makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, I think. It's not far-fetched at all. Yes, Ramos, sorry, I'll think about it. Yeah, I think I may probably go for Central FC. I don't know. I don't really think I'm happy at Madrid, but I digress. So for example, we are signed. Kevon Campbell, Andre SoundCloud signed to Real Madrid. We win the Champions League next year, obviously. Yeah. And we're celebrating. All of a sudden, we get a summons or notification that, hey, listen, you guys have not been handling your taxes.
What?
It is, wait, say what? So it's been reported basically that when it's reported, they're not going to say the organization handling the taxes, they're going to say Kevon Campbell and Andre. They're not going to say whichever company is responsible. I say that because you are assigned to this organization. They are organizations that specialize. Their job is to handle your accounts. In Trinidad and Tobago, those single income or double income homes, everybody knows that you have to file your taxes. It's a process that nobody likes. So these guys who have these large astronomical figures, they would think that you would trust an organization which is Real Madrid, which is the club in football. Whether you like them or hate them, as an establishment, they are the elite.
Most successful and the best.
So you can't say it's a small club that maybe there's some shady deals going on. And this is where Ronaldo, as you said, is angry because he's thinking, I trusted you guys to handle my business. And it seems as if it's not Real Madrid being thrown around in the media, but Cristiano Ronaldo. Just like Messi before him, just like Neymar. And people carelessly, and because maybe due to lack of knowledge of the subject matter, when the tax case takes place, the names are the ones that get messed with Kevon. And my biggest concern is as a result of that, two questions arise. Ronaldo's clearly unhappy. So it seems as if he has indicated he's going to do an exit. Real Madrid can fix the problem, maybe. He's unhappy with how Real Madrid is handling the problem. But it seems as if it's opening the door for a return to Manchester United. And then there are only a few clubs that could afford Ronaldo. Manchester United, PSG, Manchester City as well. But before I digress any further, Kevon, my biggest concern is, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line and say it's the organization's responsibility that is responsible for handling the taxes, or the individual? Because you can easily say, well, you signed your contract, you need to pay attention to those things. But it's very difficult. These are large amounts of money. These guys are professional footballers. They're not some average Joe who's getting a check at the end of the month and this has a couple, his expenses. These are guys who have astronomical amounts of business. They need to have teams and advisors that's supposed to give them advice. They put their faith in these reputable organizations. And why is it these organizations are not being held accountable and the players are basically being thrown under the bus? So where is the line drawn, Kevon?
Andre, the line is drawn by the player because in reality, his name is on that contract, and in reality, the player gets the final verdict, the final money, and also is his reputation on the line. If it goes to the courts, Ronaldo is going to step forward, not the money grabbers anywhere else. It's going to be Ronaldo himself. So, but in reality, it should not be like that. But in this world, you have numerous factors that come into play when you respect to taxes or respect to economics and finances in football. So you look at the agents. George Mendes, which is Ronaldo's agent, he should have a part to play in this. And you look at Ronaldo possibly moving. Mendes is also the agent of Jose Mourinho, and we can put two and two together there.
Yes.
But it's yeah, woohoo. But in reality, when you look at other players, Messi, you look at the price difference. Now, Ronaldo, the amount is going is 3 times the amount Messi is going, and Messi has his father as his agent. So it's not exempt from any other different players, but it's a reality that we need to really live with. And when you look at outside the box, you have different ways of earning income as a professional footballer. But you need to actually tabulate and have all that on board, especially in a very tough, rigid, and unyielding financial climate like the Spanish Kingdom. If you ever been to Spain, and it's not a country, it's... No. España.
Yeah.
Yeah. The country is so divided that people will do what they can to actually get that money and to exploit you. It's not an easy country to live in. So, in terms of the footballing side, clubs that can take Ronaldo is very limited. I know Sporting Lisbon expressed an interest, maybe for fun, but United or even PSG can be an option. But Andre, I think that this case is going to drag on for the entire summer, even after the Confed Cup, even after August, because I don't think that Ronaldo, deep down in Ronaldo's heart, he doesn't want to leave Real Madrid because there's nothing higher than Real Madrid. And if Ronaldo wants to get more Ballon d'Ors than Messi, if Ronaldo wants to do better than Messi, if Ronaldo wants to be the top and continue to achieve more, there's no other club in Europe that can be as successful as Real Madrid. So, knowing Ronaldo's ego, he wants to stay at Real Madrid and win more and more and more. So I don't see him wanting to leave. It can be drawn out. Madrid, if they were to sell him, any team buying him would love to have Ronaldo, in my opinion, because he's 32 now, but I can see another 4 or 5 years of banging goals at every angle from Ronaldo, because he is that good. He is that much of a professional athlete. So if he goes to any team, I can see him aiming to win leagues and win more, but you cannot win as much as if you stay with Los Merengues.
Yep, and just to build on what you're saying, in addition to the limited teams that can afford him, I'm just going to jump back to the actual tax part of it. Yeah. You made a very good point. In Spain, I saw Sid Lowe and those guys from ESPN FC, which he is an expert in that particular area, and I spoke to a couple of people, just on my quick research, that the accounts of the violations, the number, the numerical value, which is, I believe it's 4, I think they're saying, maybe more, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, 4 cases of violations, which is in some cases, and this is not a comparison with who's worse or who is less, criminal in this case. But there's a very real possibility, due to the numerical value of violations, that jail time is a very real possibility. It's something that's been overlooked. Of course, everybody's doing their PR thing. Ronaldo is doing what he's supposed to do and saying, hey, I'm confident that it's going to sort out, probably winking at people doing his thing. But he's doing what he's supposed to do. But that is a very real possibility, that because of the amount, jail is a very real possibility. And that's something that links, if you're a club that wants to purchase Ronaldo, you're a Manchester United, you're a Manchester City, you're a PSG, you're even a Monaco, or even in China, who knows? Because it's open house right now. The one area I think will be an issue is that if you're going to sign him, you will be inheriting this problem. So the club will have to ask themselves, I'm going to sign this player. He is a top player, make no mistake about it. At 32, doesn't mean anything. He's still a top player. He's at the peak of his current position. He has evolved his game, just like many other players. Make no mistake, he's a top buy, just like Zlatan is, and Zlatan is up in those years. You're going to sign Ronaldo. At some point, these cases drag on for months. As Kevon said, it drags on. It is not a short thing. It's going to be very financially costly for the organization that takes on this responsibility. It also is going to affect the reputation of the club. Real Madrid has already been affected because a lot of people are looking at Real Madrid with raised eyebrows. They are the elite of clubs, and their star players saying, listen, you did not take care of me. I'm unhappy right now. So that's an area that is a consequence of all this. If you're a club, yes, you can financially pay for the transfer and buy him, but there are certain things you need to look at, and that's where I think that may be a stumbling block with Ronaldo leaving as well. I don't think he wants to leave, but it seems as if his agent and other players, reliable sources in Portugal, are indicating that he is annoyed. Make no mistake, he is very annoyed, and maybe it's a very clever negotiating ploy, but that aspect of a club inheriting such a case, because no matter what, let's say Manchester United signs him, he goes across there, the case doesn't go away. It's still in Spain waiting for him. He's going to have to fly back there and deal with that stuff. And it drags on for months. You see with Messi, it is continuing right now. We see with Neymar, there's no escape. You can't run. And due to the numerical value and the amount of cases, it's going to be a problem. So Kevon, we could summarize, the tax laws are very strange. Ronaldo is maintaining his innocence. His people who are managing these things are very much maintaining their stance that, they didn't exploit any loopholes, that it was just, they were unaware of the image rights aspect of it, which we'll see how it goes. He's definitely in a hot mess right now. That is something he cannot really run away from. So Kevon, with that being said, this is something that has continued to haunt high-profile footballers and celebrities in all, Wesley Snipes is a perfect example, outside football, players even in cricket and other areas. So it's an area that Kevon and I will definitely like to discuss a bit more. So Kevon, any parting thoughts on this?
Andre, I think that as a top-class professional, it kind of comes with the territory. Yes. You are an asset to the club, you're an asset to the league, to everyone. If you play as good, you will be of value. People will want to get the better of you and undermine you and do unscrupulous things to get at you and your money and your family. So, as a professional, or guys, young footballers who actually strive to become pros, is part of it. I need to be strong and actually overcome this. And I think Ronaldo would do that.
Yes, it's a shame that we live in a world where there are these laws in place where the accountability there's a blurred line. You can sit down and literally say, okay, it's Ronaldo, it's his problem, but it's a blurred line. I personally have an issue with how, when you're making large amounts of money, there's only so much you can keep your eyes on. It's very difficult. It is very difficult, make no mistake. There are people who are living normal lives, as I said before, and it's very difficult for them. So, with that being said, Kevon and I, this is one of our segments that we could go into great detail. Is that we'll put an audio version of this only on SoundCloud, which I'll put in the link below. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this situation? Because make no mistake, it's going to continue. It's going to pop up again. And we're going to have to discuss this a bit further. We're going to also have another episode where we'll have some guys who are experts, professionals in the fields of this particular area. So Kevon and I will definitely be speaking to those people as well. So Kevon, with that being said, where can we find you?
Kev868 on Instagram and Twitter, Andre.
You can find me on Andre SoundCloud on Twitter and Instagram. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Extra Time TV. And be sure, when you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a copy of
FIFA 17.
And also tickets to the crucial upcoming games, qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers for Trinidad and Tobago, the Soca Warriors. I don't know if we're even allowed to say Soca Warriors anymore. That's a whole other story. Make no mistake, they're crucial games. Kevon and I spoke about it. We are going to go guns are blazing. We still have a chance. We have a mathematical chance. We can win these games. So Kevon and I, if there's a time for you to really go to these games, if you miss all the games, those are the games to go to.
Honduras are coming for you.
Yes. So this wonderful episode, Kevon, has been brought to you by the kind folks of
Maestro.
Yes.
Okay guys, so that wraps things up of this episode of Extra Time TV. Be sure to tune in next time and like and subscribe. Check us out below.